everyone. Welcome to the Suspense Squad, where authors interview authors. And we are absolutely thrilled this evening to have Jessica Patch with us. Jessica has a book that, Jessica, did it just release or is it releasing soon?
Month.
Okay. Well, I am so excited to hear about it. Can you hold up your book and give us, read the back blurb for us?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. This is Case Takedown. It's the first book in a new cold case investigator series that follows the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. And exposing a murderer is a deadly game. When Cold Case podcast host Georgia Maxwell's investigation into her friend's decade-old murder unveils corruption in small-town football, she's thrust into a deadly conspiracy, and it's put her on the radar of Colt McCoy, Cold Case unit chief, and her high school sweetheart, who wants her help solving the crime. But every clue brings them one step closer to someone who will kill to keep the truth hidden. Cold Case Takedown.
Very nice.
That sounds fabulous. I really like that. It sounds like it's going to be a reunion romance. Well, we've got some questions that we're going to ask you. And our first question is from Hope.
Hi, Jessica. It's nice to meet you. I have your book downloaded. I got it Thursday, and so it's next on my list to read. I'm very excited. I noticed that you write both romantic suspense and romance. So I'm not going to make you choose between which one, but what is it? What's one thing that you really love about writing romantic suspense specifically?
The mystery. I'm a mystery girl since Scooby-Doo. So I love the mystery angle. It's always going to be a whodunit in one of my stories. I always read thrillers, crime procedurals. I would snag them from my mom, and I just grew up reading those, and that's what I write. I write what I love to read, which is crime scene procedurals and the mystery element of it. So that's my favorite part of a romantic suspense.
That's my favorite part to read and write too. So yeah, I totally get that.
I love the Scooby-Doo angle. I think all of us went, oh, me too.
Yes.
There is some Scooby-Doo action on purpose in this book. So.
All right, our next question is from Darlene.
Hi, Jessica. Good to see you again. Congratulations on your new release. Looking forward to reading it. So my question to you is, tell us something about yourself that we cannot find on the internet.
That is a difficult question because I have no shame. And so I found on the internet. That's a difficult question. So I thought about it. I'm thinking, as long as the statute of limitations is up, then I can share. I got into a lot of trouble as like mischievous, like Scooby-Doo type stuff as a kid. Or at least that's all I'm going to tell you. I'm only going to tell you what I want you to know here. So when I was young, I grew up in this little tiny rural town, and every summer, me and my friend, and I will not say her name because she's an extremely private person, and I am not, and we would get together, and it was our like life mission to make money. And we wanted to make just enough money so that we could rent a hotel room at the Ramada, because that was a big thing when I was a kid, is you would rent a room for birthday parties and you could swim and run all over the halls and give the adults anxiety attacks because they didn't know where you were. Now, as I'm an adult, I'm kind of like, I get that. So we wanted to rent a room at the Ramada, and we decided that we would go down my street, and there was this old abandoned house. So we decided, because this is how stupid we were children, that we were going to break into the house and just take it, because, you know, it could be our house. And we were going to turn it into a haunted house.
So great.
We're throwing rocks at it, really quiet. You know, we wanted to get in there, but we didn't want anybody to know about it. And my brother came by. He's 2 years younger than me. He really is a delinquent. I hope he's watching this because it's the truth. And so he rides up and he's like, what are y'all doing? And we're trying to get in this house. We're going to turn it into a haunted house. And he says, oh, I can do that. He picks up this huge rock and he just chucks it at this glass window of the door. It works, busts out the door and we go inside because now this is our house. I mean, why wouldn't it be? And we go in and we're deciding on all the things that we're going to do to turn it into a haunted house. And I can remember drawing a witch on the mirror because in my mind, people were going to come in and they were going to look into the mirror and see, you know, the witch and not themselves. There was still your reflection in the mirror. It was ridiculous. And I can remember looking over and my brother had drawn this Frankenstein on the old plaster wall. It was purple with a magic marker. And we were so mad at him because it was just not realistic. And nobody was going to believe that Frankenstein, that was the real Frankenstein. And then we heard my mother screaming our name because that's how we came home at night. You would hear your parents scream your name. It was totally embarrassing, especially our mother. She was really loud. She sounds like me. So it was really loud and squawky. And she was, apparently we didn't hear her because, you know, we were in the house getting ready to make all this money. And she drove by hollering our name. We were like, oh my gosh, we've got to get home for dinner. And also I am a little bit hungry. So we snuck out when she drove by and we ran home and we never told anybody. And we never went back to the house. But when a family moved in, we did walk by and sometimes wonder, do you think they left the witch and the Frankenstein on the walls? that I did not put on the internet. So there
Well, it's there now.
I love it. That's awesome.
There for everybody.
I love that she reached the getting in the car to come look for you part. You know, we know you don't answer the woman in the car. Yeah, that's trouble.
That's a great story. I love it.
That is a great story.
All right. Our next question is from Patty.
Well, hi. It's so nice to meet you. And I am also have your book next to read, so I can't wait to read it. My question is, as a writer, we always like to know other people's process. And so what is the best time of day that you like to write?
I like to write about 9 to 1. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, so I can't do all day and nighters, and I'm a morning person. So I get up, I spend time with the Lord. I do the few little housekeeping things I need to get done, and then I get writing about, I try to be either in here in my office or somewhere by 9 o'clock. And I usually write pretty good and strong till about 1. And then I have to have, I call it my 10-15, which is my 10 to 15 minute power nap, because I'll just start it like all cross-eyed and crazy. And then after that, I might work from 2 to 4, but usually by 2 or 3, I'm done.
Keep thinking one of these days I'm going to grow up and become a morning person, but it has not happened.
I could be a morning person if it started at 11.
There you go. I'm with you.
It's technically morning.
Before noon, it's morning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Right.
Depends on what time zone.
11:59, it's still morning.
So you're an 11:59 morning person?
No,
too?
no, I'm not. I'm actually usually writing by 9 a.m. So try to be anyway.
Those of you who write full time.
I was going to say, my day job starts at 9, so yeah.
There you go. All right, so we have one more question from Loretta.
Hey, Jessica. It's good to see you again.
Me too.
Okay, well, my question is, tell us about your writing journey. How long did it take you to get published, and how did you reach that point?
The key word there is long. I wrote my first book in 2008. I knew nothing. I thought that editing was clean up your typos. And I wrote book after book after book. I had no idea where it was going to go. I just knew that God had given me a dream. And there's a difference between a good idea and a God idea. And I knew that it was a God idea. So I just kept writing. I didn't know about writers' conferences. I didn't know there was a thing as a writers group. I really had no clue. I didn't know there were books out there about how to help you edit or to develop your craft. I was just writing. And a friend of mine encouraged me to start blogging because I was writing devotionals in our church's newsletter every month. And she says, girl, just start writing some blogs. And I'm like, I don't know what a blog is. And I'm so green. And I was at my mom's one summer I was sitting there and I thought, I don't even know where I would be published if I was ever published. I mean, I know it's coming down the pipeline. I just don't know where. And the only house I could think of at that time was Tyndale. So I looked on Tyndale's website. I mean, it was completely God ordained, the whole thing. It really was. But it never looks like what you think it's going to look like. I saw they were hosting a contest, and some of you might be familiar with this. They don't do it anymore, but it was a contest with Jerry B. Jenkins Guild and Writing for the Soul contest, the Operation First novel. Mm-hmm. And it was a big contract. And I thought, oh, well, this must be, I can enter this. And let me tell y'all just how much I did not know. I mean, like I said, I have no shame. I don't care. This is how much I didn't know. I read like 12 novels at that time. And the guideline was you could not go over 100,000 words. And I was devastated, y'all. I was devastated. I thought, I don't have a book that's under 100,000 words. I'm just going to have to write a new book. So that's what I did. God was great. I know he was up there saying, oh, girl, I love you. Here we go. It was crazy. So I did. I got this idea and I wrote another book. I was like, make sure I keep it under 100,000 because, I don't have anything under that. And so I wrote this story and I entered it into the contest. And I thought, for sure, I'm going to win because this is the God idea. How many other hundreds of Christians are praying the same thing, right? Long story short, I didn't win. But I did. It was in 2011. I started in 2008. In 2011, that February, I went to the conference by myself. I knew no one. And I picked my appointments and I picked an agent. And I pitched the story to her and I thought for sure I tanked it. And she said, it sounds really interesting. I would just need to read the entire manuscript. Why don't you send me that? Well, I went back to my hotel room, hit the floor, boo-hooing in the carpet that like hundreds of people have walked on. And I think back and I'm like, that's so gross. But I was so ecstatic. I sent it to her. And by the following September, she called me and offered me representation. And that was in September 2011. And then we just started pitching and getting, rejected because that's what happens. And so unless you're just like a unicorn, but we just kept pitching places. And then in about 2014, she said, have you ever considered writing for Harlequin Love Inspired? And I said, well, honestly, I haven't thought about it, but I mean, I would totally do that. So I started actually writing a contemporary romance. And about a quarter of the way through it, I saw there was a love inspired, I think it was some kind of killer contest. So I emailed Rachel and I said, hey, there's this contest going on. I like suspense. I've written some suspense and that's what I like to read. I think maybe I should enter that contest. And she said, honey, I shouldn't say honey, I say honey. But she said, the perks of having an agent is you don't have to enter the contest. So just get a proposal ready and I'll send it. And that's what she did. And about a month later, I had my first contract with Love Inspired Suspense. And I've been writing for them ever since. And I absolutely love it.
You did learn, right, that just to clarify that you don't have to start a new book if you write too many words, that you can edit those, right?
I did learn that. I learned that you can learn that. In fact, I trim it so much I get 55,000 words every shot.